Hello everyone, how are you doing? Here is something I did a few weeks ago. I thought it would not take that long, but in the end I couldn't come up with a good background and it ended up being a pain in the ass. It took so long. But yeah, that's why this video is in two parts. First is the making of the characters, and the second part has on all the different attempts to do the background. I had a few goes at that. This happens quite often. I get inspiration from something, like usually music. I get the inspiration for the characters and some kind of like colors maybe, but I have no idea for the background, and I hate it. I don't like doing backgrounds that much. So since these videos are quite long, I asked for some questions on Tumblr and Patreon, so I could have a Q&A here while you watch this thing happen. So let's get to the questions. I will start with Patreon questions. A robotic space case asked on Patreon, how did you come up with the names Joa and Dulan? How long did it take for you to get your style to this point, and how did you find your style? For the names, I came up with them really quickly, I think. Joa it comes from this one Finnish band, their vocalist who is called Joa. And Dulan, I don't remember. I think I searched for Welsh names and found Dulan from there. How long did it take for you to get your style to this point? Well, I started drawing more seriously when I was about 14, I guess. 14, 15. It's been about 15 years. Because it never stops evolving, developing. How did you find your style? It just happens. I copied a lot from other people. Yeah, I just combined different things from other artists. Like, I like how they draw the eyes. I will try to draw them like that as well. Or I like how they draw hair or clothes. I will try to do that. Then I just kept drawing, and here we are. On Patreon, Uchiha Naruto has a few questions as well. Of all the characters that you've ever created, who would you say is your personal favorite and why? I really like Yoa. Yoa is I have a lot of feelings about Yoa. I really like Tom. He's one of the oldest OCs. He's so stoic and quiet and cool. But it's also fun to make something fun and weird happen around him and make him react to it or something. I also like Mark, Joa's best friend, because I just like his style, and it's fun to. He's so cool. He's so cool looking. It's fun to draw him. If you had to say which character you related to most, who would it be? I think Dylan is the most relatable for me. I have lots in common with him. We are very similar. The next question was, what do you feel inspired you to originally start drawing? I was around 14 or 15 when I started reading Harry Potter, and I found my way to the internet somehow and found websites with Harry Potter fan art, and they looked so cool, and I wanted to draw fan art myself. and I think that's what made me really want to like improve myself and try new things. And they continue, what do you feel has made the most impact on your style throughout your drawing career? I think it's other webcomics. At one point, a Titekubo who draws Bleach manga, I really got inspired his style in the early years of Bleach. I really liked that style, and I tried to copy it as well. And there were a few webcomics like Demonology 101 and Strings of Fate. I really like those webcomics, and I tried to also copy their style, and I think it showed on my drawings quite some time. But nowadays I just get I get inspiration from other webcomic artists, I think. And the last question from Uchiha Naruto is, how did you come up with the different names for all your characters? Are there any reason why you chose the specific names you did? What were some other names you might have considered but ultimately didn't go with? In the beginning, I used to just go with the feeling. I would draw a character and just think who they look like, or what kind of name would fit them. But nowadays I search for name meanings. I kind of pick few names that would fit and choose from them. Yeah, those were the Patreon questions, and now to the questions from Tumblr. GS Dragon VIP. I think VIP. Dragon VIP. I'm sorry. They had a few questions as well. How in depth do you go into characterizing your OCs? Is it just general knowledge stuff, or do you think about hella specific stuff like their favorite book or an object they keep in their pocket? I think it's just general stuff. I don't really. I have a hard time imagining like interiors, where the character lives and what they own and what do they have on their bookshelves and on table and on the wall. I should probably work on that. So it's just the general feeling. What would the character like in general? And yeah, I don't know. The next one is Augo Chlorella. Oh my god. They ask, I really like how natural your character's poses feel, especially for romantic stuff. Do you have any drawing tips related to posing characters naturally? I would say just observing people and real life drawing. Those really help. Observing in general, like observing others and other people's art and your art. You just have to keep an eye on what you are also drawing, and all the details and how they fit together and the bigger picture. Like, I think more of how real people act, and less about how comic characters are usually drawn. It's easy to copy the way people are drawn in other comics and stuff. So I just think more about real people, I guess. The next question is, what things do you like to do to get in the mood of drawing comics? sometimes it's really difficult. I think I just have to force myself, and it doesn't always work. But deadlines are the deadlines are a good way to make myself do comics. The next couple of questions also handle this same thing. Next question is from Random Anime Funtime. Do you have inspiration for when you have art block? What do you like to draw the most? Music helps sometimes. I guess I just try not to fight it and just watch YouTube and Netflix and wait for it to the art block to go by. But what do you like drawing most? Boys. That's pretty much it. The next question is from Anonymous. How do you pull through those days when you really have to work, but really don't feel like it? I'm sure we all have those, even if we like our jobs, right? Yeah, I don't pull through, and then I just end up hating myself. If I have time, and I usually do because I am unemployed, I just take it easy and wait for my flow kind of to come back. The next question is from Surmaso, who asks, what is the most annoying thing about making a webcomic? And I would say it's getting stuck when you don't know how to continue with the comic, and the deadline for the next page is approaching, and you just don't know what to do. it's really a terrible feeling. And also the slow pace of the webcomic. If you update like 1 or 2 pages per week, then it takes such a long time to get to a certain event in the comic, or like people forget something that happened like a little while ago. Next question is from High Five Comics Production, who asks, do you admire any artist and their work? I admire my friends who also draw and do webcomics or comics, and webcomic artists who work really hard, like Minna Sundberg, who does the Stand Still, Stay Silent webcomic. Like they work like crazy on their webcomic, and it's so beautiful, and it's amazing how they can just update it so frequently. They work so hard on it. It's incredible. Another comic artist who I could mention is Finnish comic artist J.P. Ahonen. His comics are so beautiful and so funny, and he has achieved a lot already with his comics. I can't wait to see what he will come up with next. The next question is from Ask Selene Meyaku. Selene Meyaku. How did you develop your art style? As I said earlier, copying. Like copying something from other artists for practice, and then making your own stuff using that method or something, I don't know. And time. Like I said, I've been drawing seriously since I was 15 or 14. That's like 15 years, so that's quite a long time. And the next question is from Anonymous. Do you ever worry about having your name connected to more explicit art you've made, or is this not a big deal in Finland? I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I don't try to plaster my real name all over my smut blog, and my webcomic also. I don't use my full name on the internet really. I don't think it's that big of a deal in Finland. Unless my parents see all the smut I have done, it's okay. I'm fine. And the next question is also from Anonymous, and they ask, "Do you watch porn?" And not really. I read it more. I like BL manga and just like random images, but I don't really dig real life porn. Another Anonymous asks, I sometimes hang out in your streams and it seems a great major of your fans are women. Have you heard about guys who enjoy your work too? Yeah, I have the Transfusions group in Facebook, and there was recently this sort of poll to see what kind of people read transfusions, and there were many men there actually, and non-binary people as well, straight, gay, bi, everything between, young, old. Like there were several people over 50 there, and yeah, I don't really like people who are too young to read transfusions, but yeah, there are many kind of people there, which is awesome. I really, it makes me really happy to see so many different kind of people enjoy my comic. The next question is from Anonymous as well. Do you like it when people try transfusions fan art, and how about crossovers? And yes, all the fan art. Give me all the fan art. I love it. The crossovers, if I'm familiar with the other part of the crossover, then I guess it's okay. If I don't know, then it's kind of, I don't know, weird. That's all the questions for the first video, and more questions on the second video, so be sure to watch that as well. You can see all the background mess in that. So clickety click click.